ಭಾರತದ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಿತ ಬಾಹ್ಯಾಕಾಶ ಸಂಶೋಧನಾ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಅತ್ಯುನ್ನತ ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ತಮ್ಮೊಳಗಿನ ಒಬ್ಬರಾಗಿ ಕುಳಿತಾಗ ಬೆರಗುಗಣ್ಣಿನ ಈ ಉತ್ಸಾಹಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳ ಕೊರತೆ ಹೇಗೆ ತಾನೇ ಕಾಡಿತ್ತು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಬಾಹ್ಯಾಕಾಶ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು ಪಾಲಿಸಬೇಕಾದ ನಿಯಮಗಳೇನು ಅನ್ನುವ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಚಂದ್ರಯಾನ್ 2ನ ವಿಕ್ರಮ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ ಯಾಕೆ ವಿಫಲವಾಯಿತು ಅನ್ನುವವರೆಗೂ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ಮುಂದುವರೆದವು.
I'm curious to know if there are any ethical issues that an organization like ISRO might be facing.
One is this issue, that is IP issue, so we should not copy anybody. We should respect other designs. But in this domain, much cannot be done because it is not patented. Many of them are not patented. So this is one. So again, there are issues related to the working environment. Ethical issues are there, which I don't want to discuss. But global ethical issues are there in terms of joint working with the various people. So how our satellites should not cause damage to another fellow satellites. How our rocket should not fall on somebody's head and damage him. That when you launch, the parts should not fall on some other nation's property and damage. So, and how debris in satellites and launch vehicle should not cause harm to others. These issues are there. So we discuss in general fora. There are global fora where such issues can be discussed, debated, and make guidelines.
Sir, I wanted to ask how at basic levels can we as students support this work?
See, I can tell you, you can inspire. See, all of us are here not because that we were some great students and not because we had a very high-end education. All of us are from villages. I think if you really ask any of us, we were in small towns or small villages. Having teachers who inspired us, and some people, we had an opportunity to read some books which was really transformed our lives. That's why we are all here. So some boy or a girl who had a fantastic skill and knowledge and ability will be inspired to take up science and technology and then become a great scientist one day through your speech sometimes. So if you just showcase that, you can also do that same transformation like any other teacher.
Sir, for every mission, there, like for landing, there will be a particular landing site for each.
You're talking about moon landing?
Yeah, for moon or Mars, whatever it is,
Okay.
there will be a particular landing site. So I just wanted to know, is it decided beforehand or it's just random sites?
Generally, it is decided beforehand.
Sir, on what factors is it decided, sir?
Many factors. For example, it will be better that you go to a place where there is enough sunlight. The temperature excursions are lower, so that your mission is safer. But there is also a science objective. Why you want to land in one particular place? Suppose you may select a particular place. For example, Mars, they are landed in place where there was a clear indication of a river joining and there was a possibility of a fossil-like content to be detected, mineral content to be detected. So, based on observations a priori, you will map the entire surface, understand which is the best scientific interest existing. For example, now we are going to the southern side of the moon, where we want to observe it where there are certain scientific interest in that zone, location. So first identify the location where there is a scientific interest. Then second, you check, if you land there, what are the issues that you are going to face, including power generation. For example, if you go to moon, you have to look at how long you can survive with that power. How to design the craft for that location. A craft which will land in a better sunlit location cannot work in that area, or vice versa. So you have to design the mission for that location. Anything you want to add?
As sir mentioned, the first primary requirement is the science goal. To meet that science goal, you identify a location. In that location, you also identify what are all the issues, and you design the satellite for that. The third one is when you are landing, whether it is safe to land, because like an aircraft that cannot land everywhere. Aircraft can land only on a runway, and similarly a helicopter can only land on a helipad. So for the satellite also to land, you need a nearly flat, smooth surface where there are no boulders, no large slope, so that it will not topple when it is landing. So all these are taken into account while deciding what is the landing spot.
So what happened in case of Chandrayaan 2, like about the Vikram lander?
Yeah, the Vikram lander nearly missed it. So what we understood is, because we do not get every information. No, this is a telemetered information. What happens on board is actually telemetered to us in terms of data, and this data has to be synthesized to find out what could have gone wrong, because we don't have a camera looking at it from ground to see. But based on this data, what we understood that the algorithm that is required for it to land, there was an issue. That means it is designed for certain boundaries, because every algorithm, how to, this algorithm means how to speed up, how to control the thrust, how to orient it, etc., etc. So these conditions are designed for certain parameter perturbation. Parameter perturbation means mass, velocity, attitude, and various parameters are put. If this is within that, it will have one algorithm. If it is beyond that, it will be another algorithm. So the algorithm which you have designed for Chandrayaan-2 has gone beyond the threshold or the boundaries. To put it in very simple terms. So once that threshold is crossed, it got into a toppling. So it couldn't control by itself. So finally, it was not able to maintain its attitude for a safe landing. So it has to crash. So you have to understand that you have heard of automatic cars.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So driverless cars.
Yes.
So how many of you will be happily sit in a driverless car? It should replace you, but very difficult to replace one human being. So what it does is it puts certain sensors there. Sensors are cameras or IR sensors for proximity. There will be accelerometers, there will be lidars, and there will be speed sensors from different wheels, brakes, health of the engine, etc., etc. All this information will come to some computer, it will analyze, and then of course steering has to be done. So it's a very complex process, no? And all this will work for a given conditions that you have thought about it. All this have to be programmed in a computer, no? All possible scenes of a driving has to be programmed. How will you program? Suddenly something fell on the car. What will you do? Can you program? So it's a complex algorithm, no? This is what I meant by thresholds of imagination, exceeding. So when you write a program for the Chandrayaan lander to land on the moon, we foresee certain possibilities. It is likely to go through this. This is evolved through discussion. We debate, discuss what are the possibilities by which it can land, it can go wrong, what can happen here, what sensor can fail, what can happen to the engine, what approximation can go wrong. All these are within that bound. It will reach from here to my destination safely.
So, good morning, sir. Does ISRO has any plans to build a human space flight and send Indians to space?
I think you know already. That plan is well announced, and that is called Gaganyaan program. That plan is to send the humans to space and bring him back. Space means an orbit of around Earth for a few days, keep him there safely, and bring him back also safely using our own rocket, our own human capsule, and all paraphernalia associated with that. You know that we have a rocket already for the purpose. It's called GSLV Mark-3, and that we are going to human rate. But we do not have is a human capsule is not available unless we buy one from Russian or Americans or European somewhere. But we don't want to do that. We are making our own. It is not a satellite, as you saw here. It is a satellite, but it contains many more things than a satellite, like a pressurized compartment where you can sit and work. There is a human environmental control and life support system will be there. There is going to be another system called escape system. In case anything happens, you should be able to safely move out. There are also another system, very important system, to have intelligence in the overall satellite and rocket to know whether any problems are happening. If that intelligence tells you that there is an issue, you should be able to abort and come out. So various systems are to be developed and newly qualified.
ಹೀಗೆ ಇಸ್ರೋ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರ ಜೊತೆ ನಡೆದ 1.5 ಗಂಟೆಗಳ ಸಂವಾದ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಭವಿಷ್ಯದ ಆಶೋತ್ತರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೊಸ ಮೆರುಗನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದ್ದರೆ, ಆ ನಂತರ ನಾವು ಭೇಟಿ ನೀಡಿದ ಜಗತ್ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಆ ಪ್ರಯೋಗಾಲಯಗಳು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಬೆರಗಿನಿಂದ ಅವಕ್ಕಾಗಿಸಿದ್ದವು. ಹೀಗೆ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ರೂಮ್, ವೈಬ್ರೇಷನ್ ಶೇಕರ್ಸ್, ಥರ್ಮೋವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಚೇಂಬರ್, ಕಾಂಪ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಂಟೆನಾ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿಯನ್ನು ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಇಸ್ರೋದಿಂದ ಹೊರಟಾಗ ಹೀಗೊಂದು ಉಪಗ್ರಹ ಭೂಮಿಯನ್ನು ಮೀರಿ ಬಾಹ್ಯಾಕಾಶವನ್ನು ತಲುಪುವ ಮುನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನದಾಳದ ಮುಗಿಲನ್ನ ಮೀರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನುವ ಹೊಳಹು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅನುರಣನಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು.
ಇದು ಏಷ್ಯಾನೆಟ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತಿ.
ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಏಷ್ಯಾನೆಟ್ ಸುವರ್ಣ ನ್ಯೂಸ್.